everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kaye, and today I am doing this fun Halloween mask look with the pulled skin. Hopefully you guys know what movie I'm talking about. I did some body painting with it as well, but I hope you all enjoy the video. It was so fun for me to create. If you guys end up doing any recreations, make sure to tag me. I would love to see them. If you would like to see more of my future videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And with no further ado, let's get into the video. To start off the look, I grabbed an inspiration picture from the mask off of Pinterest and then sketched out the suit on my body with a NYX white pencil. Sketching it out helped make sure the suit was symmetrical and so I didn't miss any details. Then I started by painting each section of the suit with the color I was going to use. The undershirt was white, so I started there. This paint can be a little sheer, so I put on a few layers to make sure it was opaque and would look more realistic. I decided to do the tie and shading off camera because frankly I had no idea how it was going to turn out, but I wish I had because it turned out a lot better than I expected. But basically I painted the tie black and put the polka dot pattern on the tie that matched the photo I took from Pinterest, and I shaded underneath the collar and the tie to make it look like it was actually laying on my body. Taking a yellow Mehron Paradise paint, I am painting on the suit jacket. I didn't add as much detail to the rest of the suit because I realized my hair would be covering that part anyways, so I felt like it wasn't necessary. Off camera, I did my foundation and eyeshadow, and now I am taking a NYX brow pencil to sketch out where I want the mask to go. Since we want it to look like we're pulling our skin to reveal the mask underneath, I'm making the sides slimmer at the top and on my cheek. Almost in a potato shape / guitar shape is the best way I can describe it. Now I'm adding lines where I will be actually pulling the skin for the photo, and this will make it look like there are actual wrinkles there and that the skin is being rippled and pulled. For the actual green mask, I'm using one of my favorite face paint creating techniques by taking the Makeup Revolution foundation in white and mixing it with a bright green eyeshadow. This technique lays much smoother than water-based paint and has a lot better coverage. I absolutely love this technique. If you haven't tried it, definitely do, because you can make any color of face paint with this foundation. Taking the white foundation by itself, I'm using this as a concealer to highlight underneath the eyes so the face has more dimension. Without doing this, the face will look flat and one-dimensional. Going in with this fun green shade called Ew from the Nikkie Tutorials palette, I am blending this into the crease, using it basically as a transition shade. I have been obsessed with this palette, you guys. The pigmentation is incredible and the shimmers, oh my gosh, you'll just have to wait and see. Taking that same shade, Ew, I'm using it to contour my nose, and I will be using it to contour my cheekbones later as well. It was just the perfect shade for contouring for this look. I love this shadow. I'm going to do my brows off camera, so I'm going to be taking this shade Tank and just taking that deeper on the outer corner of the shadow. I'm pretty much all out of frame, so I apologize for that, but I just took it on the outer corner, and then I'm taking the lighter green shade in the palette and using that to darken up the crease just to add some dimension. Wetting my brush with some setting spray, I am going in with the shade called All In from the Nikkie Tutorials palette. This has a beautiful green reflect, and I'm just using it to cut the crease and add some nice shimmer on there. Taking the medium shade from the Jkissa palette called Peaky, I am using that to darken up the lower lash line and add more dimension to our eyes. And then I'm also taking the darker green as well to add that dimension in there. Taking the Bobbi Brown Pitch Black eyeliner, I am lining the inner rim of my eyes, both the waterline and tight lining as well. This just gives a more dramatic look and just helps sell it a little more. Just makes it a little more glamorous, if you know what I mean. Taking my all-time favorite mascara, L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I'm just loading that up with the lashes. I will be applying lashes later, but I just felt like adding mascara would make me look a little more human. Now onto the part that really makes or breaks the look, the lines. You want to make sure that these are a good color. I ended up just erasing this and going back to it later because the pencil I used was a brow pencil and it just went way too red, and so I ended up just popping foundation and powder over it. And then now I am going in with shading the actual face. So what I'm using is just the green shadows that we have used the whole time and shading underneath there so it looks like the mask is underneath the skin. Now taking a fluffy brush with nothing on it, I am just blending that out because I felt like it was looking a little choppy using that tiny little brush. So just blending that all over the face and making sure it is nice and shaded. And because I felt like the contour just wasn't showing up as much as it should with the original green shade I used, I went in with the darker green shade from the Jkissa palette called Peaky, and I just contoured the rest of my face just to make sure it was nice and sharp because the mask is pretty dramatic looking, so I wanted to make sure that I looked just as dramatic as the mask. Here I'm just going in with more detail. As you can see, when you start working on something else, you can kind of see where another part of the face needs help. Blending more and then adding a little more coverage on the face. Taking some concealer that's the same shade as my face, I am highlighting the wrinkles so it looks like they are popping out a little bit more and to make them look more realistic and add some dimension as well. Now I'm taking the Laura Mercier Soleil 1 bronzer and shading above those lines to make them look like they are a little bit deeper. And the reason I chose this bronzer is because it's not too orange, it's a pretty neutral shade and my skin tone's pretty warm, so it blended in with the skin nicely, and I'm just continuing to blend using detail brushes and just going back and forth in there. For the lips, I took some green shadow just to add a nice green tint to them, and then I took a shimmery shade, the same one we used on the eyes, to give a shiny gloss effect. Then I mixed some green and black face paint and added more crispness to the edges because I felt like it was just looking kind of messy. And then I blended that into the lips a little bit more and added more of this shimmery shade just to give it some extra oomph. Now I'm applying the Eyelure Opulent lashes and I will be back. Hi everyone, so I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial of this mask look. It was super fun for me to create, a lot more fun than I even thought it was going to be, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you would like to see more of my future videos, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up as well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!